Kurumjari, Vanakkam and Namaste. Today I'm going to talk about Shivaratri, the day which we can do our mental detox. It is an opportunity given to us to do our mental detox. So you might be aware about how much it helps us when we do detox, whether it is in physical or emotional. And Shivaratri is one of the right opportunity, the best opportunity to do the mental detox. It is like cleaning, our old identity can be wiped off to have a new identity with a proper sankalpa of why you are praying it with a clarity and intention. When you do that, Shivaratri is very much powerful. And on this day of Shivaratri is normally celebrated during the time of moon waning time. Moon waning time means when the moon is approaching near Amavasya, so new moon. So when the moon is coming towards Amavasya, then the mind, the emotional state is the weakest at this time, and your consciousness level is at the strongest. So what happen is, when our consciousness is strongest, emotion is weakest, it is easier to get transformed. So to have that transformation, to do that sankalpa, to do that prayer, to do that meditation, it is more powerful. And it is one of the best time to do meditation, where you can do meditation by lighting a lamp and do a meditation. Means it will be definitely very powerful, because how Shivaratri affects in our life is in three different phases. The first phase is about our, about our emotional and psychological state. The second phase is all about our karmic phase, and the third phase is all about our spiritual phase. So when we say about the emotional and psychological phase, since the moon is at its weakest, your consciousness and subconscious level can be awakened. So that is a time you can get rid of your fear, your stress, whatever the mind controls, which makes us to be overly obsession, overly attachment, that can be reduced. So Shivaratri is normally celebrated by doing a fasting. Why we do fasting is, when you do fasting, our physically pool, you are trying to reduce it, because when we are having a craving for eating certain food, we will not be able to control our mind of what we want, because the food is controlling our emotions. So when you do a sankalpa that today I'm going to do a fasting and going to do fasting and relying only on fruits or water, that will make your mind to be more stronger and able to control the mind of what your physical body is requiring it. So that automatically make your transformative state of your mind of consciousness to be more stronger. So during this time, your psychological state, you will be able to have that control. That is why we call it as a mental detox. You'll be able to get rid of all that unwanted emotions, because when our emotions are very strong, we will not be able to understand the intelligence part of our life, what we need to focus on. So we have to make that emotion part to be at its weakest, and make our transformative part of our consciousness to be more strengthened. And this is the day. And the second part is all about our karmic baggage. Shiva, Mahadeva. Mahadeva controls, out of the planets, 9 planets, it controls the Rahu Ketu, Saturn, as well as Moon. And we all know that Saturn is a planet which controls our, any karma, whatever karma we are bringing, we are born with, or we are having in this life, we have to face that karma, whether it is good or bad. And Saturn is a planet which goes very slowly, so things does not happen very fast as per our wish. It delays the work. So Mahadeva is able to control this planet called Saturn. And Rahu Ketu. Rahu Ketu, we all know that Rahu is all about obsession. The obsession, the more we are obsessed about something, it is not going to make us achieve what we really want. Okay, so that obsession part, that is going to be under controlled. And the next one is about the moon. Moon is about our mind, and Shiva means controlling of that mind. The emotional state of being too emotional, it does not give us any good result. When we are too emotional means when we are so happy, or when we are very sad, or when we get angry easily. During that time, whatever words we utter, later on we may regret. That is why we call it as our emotions should be under control and balance. And on the day of Mahashivaratri, that is the weakest point of our moon, means our mind can be at a subtle level where we can control that. And on the day of Shivaratri, you will be able to bring in transformation in all that phase. So if you are looking for a career growth, or you are looking for a career change, the Saturn karma will be able to be reformed, because your whole identity is going to be changed into a new identity with a sankalpa of like a meditation when you focused on it. Okay, so the next one is about your moon. Your emotional state also will be under control, and you will be able to have a control over what you are obsessed about. Rather than that, you can focus on what you need to be transformed. For that transformation, what you need to get rid of all the worldly things, for you to be more focused on what you need to transform. And at the same time, certain pitradosh, where we are bringing it as a baggage of karma, and like I mean through ancestors and all that, that also can be reduced, because this is the day where your old identity is going to be cleansed and make you to be transformed into a new identity. So for celebrating Shivaratri, do not forget to do fasting. And you know that biologically in the medical field, fasting is also very important. At the same time, even in the spiritual field, the fasting is very important. Have a proper sankalpa of why you are celebrating this Shivaratri. Do a proper meditation, have a fasting, and you can rely on fruits, and which will make your body to be very light and good in, like I mean, digestion and all, so that you'll be able to focus more on what you want to do as a sankalpa. So this one day of Shivaratri, let us enjoy celebrating that and be more focused and be more transformed, to be more conscious and to have that transformative life. And that's all I wanted to share with you all. Thank you so much.